former governor of Kano State and former chairman of Senate Committee on INEC, Senator Kabiru Gaya, for discussion on President Tinubu's first 6 months in office and other matters. Senator Gaya is also the former vice president of Inter-Parliamentary Union, IPU Africa. Thank you so much for joining us, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. We're happy to be with you and the Nigerians.
So let me start this conversation with you. You were a former governor of Kano State and elected senator on 3 occasions. How is life outside public office?
Well, first of all, I thank Almighty God for giving me the opportunity to come and serve Nigerians, in particular my state and my constituency as a senator. I served as a governor for 2 years before we were booted out by the military. And then I now serve as a senator for 16 years. And having a break now, I'm still around to see what I can do to serve this country at the best of my capability. And life after office, I think it's interesting. You see where you have made achievements and you see where you have made some mistakes, and hoping that in the future you can correct it, or you can advise your colleagues who took over the position to do better than what we have done.
Your Excellency, in this just concluded 2023 elections, you lost the Kano South senatorial ticket to Abdurrahman Kawu of the NNPP. As a 3-time senator, I must say that that result surprised many political watchers. What factors did you think contributed to this?
Well, first of all, I'm a 4-time senator, not even 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been in the Senate for 16 years. I've been winning my elections, but you know, all is left to God. God, when He decides to keep you there for as long as He wants, He keep you there. But we were surprised how we lost the election, this election in 2023. I'm familiar with the constituency, the people like me, but at the end of the day, we had to go to a tribunal, and what we did, the tribunal gave a different verdict, but we have to accept what really God had decided, because I was a senator for 4 terms, and it was God who decided to keep me there. And so I thank God for being there, but at least life is on and off. So we are on the off season. Hope we'll be back on another capacity, on another capacity to serve our people. And I wish the person who took over from me, I wish him well. I hope he will do the best he can for our community.
Right, but I'm wondering, how did your followers feel about you just accepting the verdict of the tribunal?
Well, my followers and myself have to agree, because it is life. I was there for 4 terms, and around those 4 terms, I was only taken to court once. All the 3 terms where I defeated other candidates of other parties, they all accepted. So why shouldn't I accept and move forward? Because when I say I'll continue to fight, the maximum fight I can do is after tribunal, then you go to Court of Appeal. When the Court of Appeal gives you a different judgment than what you want, then you leave everything to go. Just like other judgments or court cases for governors, it all ends up at the tribunal, at the Court of a Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court gives verdict, nothing much can be done by anybody who protested. So I believe it's just a test from God, and I hope I will be able to pass that test, inshallah.
So as one of the few...
But my people, as you said, hello?
Please go on.
As my people are not happy, but they also have to accept, and we told them we're all doing APC, we're in one political party which we are working hard, and you can see the recent judgment by the Court of Appeal. They reinstated our candidate, Governor Gaya, who is now the person that Court of Appeal given him the case, even though the other party have gone to the Supreme Court. But I believe we have won election that in the governorship, and even other elections, but we hope this governorship will come back to APC. And by that, then most of our followers will be happy, because we'll be in control of the local governments, and then people who lost jobs, who we need to assist, can be assisted through our local government and the state government.
All right. But as one of the few Second Republic politicians still around, how are you to compare politics then to what we have now?
Well, it's completely different. Politics during the Babangida administration was completely different. I was quite a young man. I was only about 38 years when I became the governor of Kano State. And I believe I'm the first person at 38 years to be a governor of Kano State up to today. And I'm happy that I was the governor of the new Kano State before the separation of the Gaya state. I remember when we had a meeting, when we was a program, both myself and Rimi were there. So Rimi said he was the governor of Kano State, the first civilian governor of Kano State. Then when it comes to my turn, I said, no, I am the first civilian governor of the present Kano State. So everybody laughed. But so it is different during that time. Most of us as young men were allowed by the government of Babangida to participate. And that even when some of us who had godfathers, our godfathers were disqualified to run for any election. So we were left on our own. And it was really a true democratic process, even though the head is military. But we were able to go around to our consensus. I went around to almost everywhere, every local government, every village in my constituency. At that time, Kano and Jigawa were one state. Before the separation or the carve out of Jigawa out of Kano, I went around all those villages. So I've seen my people. I've seen the problems they were in. I remember I went to one village. It's a completely Fulani people with all their herds and animals, and they all drink from one dirty font. They drink that water. The animals go in there. The dogs also goes in there. Sometimes they urinate. People use that same water to drink. But when I campaigned there, I promised them I will give them water, clean water for them to utilize in their community. And luckily enough, when I became governor, I think I was one of the first few governors in Nigeria to use solar-powered borehole, because I knew those people cannot maintain motorized borehole because you have to buy petrol, they have to service the engines, they have to buy, if the engine knocks, there's something they can do. So when you put them a motorized borehole, it works. And up to now, 33 years, the borehole is still working. When there's the little problem, the people within the community can be able to do, to repair it and service. So we are happy that people are drinking quality water in that local government. And I did so much. So when I became a senator, I maintained that policy of providing solar-powered boreholes. And I was able to provide, just on solar-powered, over 400 units of solar-powered boreholes within my community. Almost every ward has a solar-powered borehole in my Centura area. So there is a lot of different politically. We had the chance. People voted us because simply they like us, not because we give money or we buy things and give them. Honestly, I spent less during my general election. And on primary election, there were about 9 of us who contested in the NRC. I got 90% of the votes because I was young, vibrant, and people liked me. And there was nothing, we didn't spend much money to become candidate of the party. And when you win as a popular candidate, it's much easier for you to campaign for the real general election, because a lot of people will now, who felt that they have supported you to become a candidate of the party, they will now go and become your representative in every ward, on every village, or in every little community to support you. And that's what happens. So when it comes to the general election, I won my election landslide, and I became the governor of Kano State in 1991, and I was sworn in 1992, and I served for almost 2 years. I made an impact within that 2 years in my governance, and then after that, we were booted out, and I still remain in politics. I'm happy that I'm still relevant in politics all that number of years. Some of my colleagues have left the state, they died, and some of them are not even playing politics, but I'm happy that I've been in the system. And the last people that were in the Senate together were Shaba Lafiagi and two of them were the only, Shaba Lafiagi and Bukar Abu Ibrahim, and myself were the only 3 senators in the 9th Senate, in the 8th Senate, as former governors in 1992 product. So I am happy I'm still being relevant in politics. And my constituency, I'm happy they still like me.
Your Excellency, during the aborted Third Republic in 1992-1993, you were elected governor of Kano State, while President Tinubu was elected a senator. What kind of a politician will you describe him?
Senator Tinubu is an excellent politician, a determined, somebody who is not scared of anything in his front, who is not afraid and trying to push hard and get what he wants. I was a governor, he was a senator of Lagos State. My colleague from Lagos was a late Otedela was my colleague as a governor of Lagos State. But we really were happy with even how he came, how the Bola Tinubu came in as a senator, and he made impact within the National Assembly within the little period they had in Abuja as senator. So since that time, I think I've been watching Bola Tinubu to see what he can do. And he came in, we formed the alliance of APC and other parties to form APC. He was a real strong actor and somebody who really pushed the formation of APC. We were together. I was one of the committees with him trying to draw the symbol of our party. And we stay up to about 3, 4 a.m. in the morning arguing what to put, what Nigerian would want. And he was able to convince us to put a broom. They said everybody in Nigeria uses broom. Every woman needs a clean environment, so they use a broom. Even in marketplaces, people who are clean the market, they use broom. So it's an easy symbol to sell out. And he was the one really who convinced us to agree on that. Some of us were thinking of something else, but really he was adamant on the broom, and he was able to convince us to agree on the broom. So we were really, I believe, and from what he did as a governor of Lagos State alone, he was able to transform Lagos to a better and most prosperous state. And he was able to capture the remaining 5 states in the southwest under his umbrella. And that shows the man has a good vision. And when he came in to join us in APC, to form APC together with him, I believe he's one of the best materials to put for that. And we are one of the people that agree, let the presidency go to the south. We didn't say either southwest or southeast, but to go to the south. And the most alliance people, the people that we can ally with, are from the southwest. And the southwest, we had Bola Tinubu, who became now the candidate of APC and now the president of Nigeria. And for the last 6 months, he's doing extremely well, and I'm proud of him.
Right. But the president is about 6 months in office. How will you describe the administration so far?
Well, so far, so good. And I believe he will do better more in the future, because how he started to build Lagos and what Lagos it is now, all his predecessors are now building on what he has started. And from what he did when he came in, the issue of subsidy and all other issues, sometimes you need to bite whatever it comes to make sure you succeed. It was a hard decision he took, but he did it on day one, and people started feeling the hardship. But now with the way of he's trying to bring investors into Nigeria, I think the situation in Nigeria, the poverty level will decrease and people will be more prosperous and Nigeria will be in a better position. So I am appealing to all Nigerians, let us support him, let us work with him, let us see how best he can make Nigeria better. He did it in Lagos and he did it in the neighboring states, and I believe he did it in Nigeria with our cooperation, and we are ready to cooperate with him. And even for his recent trips to outside the country, he was in many places where he was able to bring investors. He was in Saudi Arabia, he was in Germany, he was in France, and all those places he went, he was giving the international community the confidence to come to Nigeria and invest. And I'm happy that Saudi Arabia was ready to, on many issues, to come in, and they had an MOU with them on issue of petroleum, on issue of roads, on issue of trying to see how they can partner with us and see how our economy can be able to improve. And then in Germany too, what he got for us is also trust, and international community have confidence in him. They know he can do it, and that's why investors, I believe, will be coming, even in the petroleum sector. And then on this issue of the gas pipeline we are doing from Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, then we hope it will go to Algeria so that we can be exporting our gas from that point and be making money. And then along the routes, we can now improve on our factories. Most of the factories in Kaduna are down. Most of the factories in Kano are down because we don't have the diesel will not run, or you cannot compete with some factories in Lagos who have using gas as a source of power supply. And then for some people buying petrol, you cannot, or diesel, you cannot be able to compare the competition, because the competition will be so one way, because you cannot compete with those who are using gas in their turbines to power, to generate their machines. But in Kano, if we have the pipeline going through Kano, it means we can now have our industries, because Kano was the second largest industrial state in Nigeria. But now when we bring power, it means the industry can be. We have the market, we have everything that needed to expand Kano, but we need power. We need the power supply. And if with that, this gas project, which the president is working hard on it to make sure it is done, I believe it will be able to help the state and even the environment. You find that Kano is mainly the market, the general market of the northern Nigeria. Even if you make product in Lagos or in Calabar or in Port Harcourt, they bring them to Kano at the center of the market, and from Kano they will distribute them back to Lagos, even other places, to the traders. So I believe he's doing very well, and we are appealing to all Nigerians to give him the support. Now that the election is over, even the opposition members of other political parties, the president says they should come along and work with him, and let's move the country forward. That's an excellent leadership, because a leadership is bringing everybody on board, bringing even your opponents come on board and see how well you are doing. And secondly, I'm happy with him that any time there is any criticisms or any where Nigerians complain, he has a listening ears for the people. And once he hears that, he quickly responds. And that is an excellent, that's a good leader. A leader listens to the yearnings of Nigerians or his people, and then he responds based on what they want. So that one he did, or he's doing, I think is very much impressive. So I am happy, and I wish him well, and I expect he can do better. I have high hope for him, and I believe he can do much better.
Well, Your Excellency, if you're to bring together all the bold decisions the president has taken since he assumed office, what areas do you think he has made the most impact?
Well, he has taken bold decisions on many things. There are little things and there are big things. Even on this issue of students' loan, it's an excellent thing, because there are many Nigerians' parents cannot be able to pay school fees for those children. And these children are our future leaders. So if you build them now, support them now, they'll be happy that they worked under a good leadership and they became what they are now. That's another one. The second one I know, which was the first #1 ball, was the issue of subsidy. And I think you should like to look into that. But if you on the subsidy too, what I expect they should look into the issue of the price. How much they sell diesel in Abuja is different than what they sell in Lagos. And what they sell in Abuja is also much lower than what they sell in Kano, and what they sell in Maiduguri is much higher. So I think that the issue is the issue of transportation. If the government can look into the issue of payment of transportation of this fuel or diesel or kerosene or petrol to the police stations, I think that because they used to do that, they pay the cost of transportation, and I believe that we can now sanitize the price of diesel, petrol, and even kerosene. If it is so in Port Harcourt, it should be the same in Lagos, it should be the same in Kaduna, it should be the same in others. I think that would reduce the cost of the burden on the transporters or on the people using the transport. You find that the price of the issue of transport now, from where you join transport for 5,000, you now pay 10,000 to use the same transport, immediately from Kano to Abuja, or from Abuja to Kano. Instead of paying 5,000 before, now because of the fuel increase, you are paying 10,000. And you find that the salary for the people, even our private staffs, how much we pay them, we cannot afford to pay them, to give them another 100% increase, but because the source of the revenue is low. But I believe if we go on like that, when there is high competition, even the price of fuel, diesel, will come down, because when the other people are allowed to import, and even if Dangote started his refinery, by the time he started producing, I believe the fuel price will come down, because there will be a competition within the importers and the ones producing these commodities in Nigeria. So those are some few bold steps. And the issue of he doesn't take nonsense on the leadership. He wants some members of his cabinet on what they are doing. Incoming president or the president that has been sworn in that day is a good news, but it also hurts at that particular time. But I believe we must find a solution. The president must try to look at ways in which the price of petrol and diesel comes down, because you have to also look at what amount of money the importers are making, and let them also sacrifice in the interest of Nigeria. If they're making maybe let me give them, if they're making 100 million on one simple ship imported, if they make a profit of 50, 60 million, they thank God. They don't have to make 100 million. So I believe the president should sit down with this, the importers and the major marketers, how they could be able to reduce their the profit margin, because I believe the profit margin is high, and the president should look into that area and see how they can reduce it. That's so that Nigerians could also be much happier, and then the cost of their maintenance or the cost of their movement within their community or within their place of work should be reduced. So that's a good step. And then the other one he took, which was trying to assist the states in trying to be bailed out on issues like the problem they are facing. I think that one too is a good system. And the way he operates as a president of the country, not a president of APC. After this off-cycle election, where Kogi, Bayelsa, and the three states, Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo, the president congratulated all the three governors. And that's a good one. He didn't say, let me be happy that my party have won 2 states and the third state is PDP. But he said he's all happy he congratulated them and say, and wish them well too. But that's a good leadership. You don't show differences. And I think the last time we saw this kind of thing was when we were in government. President Babangida was the head of state, but military head of state. And some of us are governors of NRC, others are governors of SDP. And he took all of us along as his younger brothers or his colleagues who are working together with him, irrespective of the party differences. So I think Bola Tinubu is doing that kind of thing in trying to carry everybody along. And I wish he can. And also you gentlemen of the press should continue to give him all the support you can too.